with move controllers this time. Go ahead and continue the game even though I've beaten it, because it just takes you back before you've completed the last mission. So that's oh shit, my hands are in the wrong fucking... Okay, now I have the right hands. So this game, I thought it was kind of fun without move controllers, but it really just felt lacking, and it really took away the whole immersive superhero experience. With move controllers, it's honestly like the best thing ever. It's great. So first, especially if you already started a game with the controller, you're gonna have a really hard time like moving around, doing everything. I recommend starting a new game when using move controllers if you've already played this game with the controller, because there's no like settings where it tells you like how to do each move. You just kind of have to memorize it after it tells you in the tutorial when you learn a new move when you have the move controllers on. So I'm also going to show you how to do that in case like you don't want to make a new save. Like let's say you're like close to beating it. So first, let's get over to somewhere that's got some land. I'm just gonna fly our asses over. I want to get somewhere that's kind of sunny so there's enough light to see. So I have to fly around the planet a little bit. Oh wait, I'm flying the wrong way. Let's fly towards the sun. Looks like it'd be kind of bright over here. Okay, so first things first, flying. You could be done with, oh shit. It can be done with the two, like, move buttons, the big button on the move controllers. If you just press one and, like, your hand's kind of off this way, you'll fly in that direction. To fly straight, or, like, you can have just like, one hand and kind of point. Or you can do both hands, and it'll go the way both your hands are pointing. So if you try pointing your hands in different directions, you might have like random results. Flying with one hand's fine. See, as it works, great. I kind of like flying with both hands. But if you fly with both hands like this, if your hands are not in the center of where you're wanting to fly, let's say I'm just pressing the button on this one, but I have both hands out, I'm gonna fly a little to the right. If you want to just fly straight out while having your hands out with Superman, you gotta press both buttons. Or you can just have one hand out and do the Green Lantern flight, with one hand in front of you. And that works. So that you probably already figured out. Also, it's the first thing it tells you if you do play a new game. Okay, so as for your bolts, you notice you can't just press the trigger and expect something to happen now. You press the trigger, nothing will happen. You might think like, oh fuck, it's broken, they don't have a thing. No, it's not broken. There's actually motions for each of the moves. And to fire a normal bolt, you have to press the trigger or hold it and flick your hand forward. And you fire, a little key bolt. And if you just keep, so if you want to do kind of a rapid fire, you can kind of switch hands. I accidentally did my heat beam. Or you can just hold down the trigger and just flick forward. But if you do that, you might accidentally hit your heat beam. Do that heat beam thing, or I like to call it the special beam cannon, because the way your fingers look when you do it in move controls, you just hold down the trigger and do a sweeping motion like towards your head like that. Kind of like if you've ever seen Dragon Ball Z, if you're going to do special beam cannon, you just hold down the trigger, bring your head in a sweeping motion like this to your head, and you see it's making the noise saying I can't do it because it's reloading. It's about to reload right now. Okay. Bam. See how like the fingers go out? I swear it's special beam cannon. But it's great. So that's your move that'll like kill most enemies in one hit or do massive damage. Here's probably your most damaging move, if not second most damaging move. Well, I like to call it the Kamehameha, but it's called your Megaton Blast. To do that, you literally just do Kamehameha. You can kind of make your hands go back and then go forward. But the best way to do it to where it actually goes where you want it to go is to have it like in front of you in some way. So to charge it up, you do have to press both triggers and bring your hands together. Like if you're doing a Kame wave from Dragon Ball Z, you charge it up like this, and then when you hear that sound, you just heard that other sound, you can release it. But first, and how you have to release it, you have to like, you can either let go of the buttons, or it works best if you keep them held down though, and you just push the energy forward after you hear the sound saying it's fully charged. So I think that's probably one of my favorite things, is that it's literally makes you feel like you're flying around here, you're Goku or someone from Dragon Ball Z, you know, throwing out some special beam cannons, you know, flicking in ki blasts out of your hands. Like, they could totally, with how well this works, they could totally make a really, really fun Dragon Ball Z game for PSVR, and I honestly don't know why they haven't done it. Okay, so now turning. Turning can be a big issue, especially since for some reason your stop time move, maybe it's because the motion for it isn't the easiest thing to do, is still mapped to your triangle button, which also, if you're using the buttons, which by default they still work that way, like square, you know, turning left is fine, but if you use triangle and turn right after you've already learned the stop time ability, it will stop time. It'll still turn you right, but it'll also stop time. So it's better to go in your settings or options and choose one of the other options. So right here, if we go to tilting VR, rotate by tilting head or rotate by looking. This one I don't recommend. Maybe you'll like it, but I didn't as much because it was too disorienting to turn and took too long to turn, especially in combat. So that one, what it does is when you turn your head like left or right, like once you get to like the, you know, the about this far left or about this far right, you know, your shoulders, it'll automatically keep turning your screen as long as your head's, you know, pointed that direction. Where that can be kind of cool. It usually just gets annoying because you'll turn when you don't mean to, stuff like that. I like this one a lot better. Rotate by tilting your head. So that one, what it means to tilt your head, like imagine this is my head, so you tilt left or tilt right. So instead of turning, you just tilt it left or right. Yeah, and it works really good for when you're flying, because you go like this, tilt your head, go like this, tilt your head. Not sure how ugly that's gonna look on the video, but I'm just tilting my head left or right. So I have my hands out, I'm flying, I can tilt to turn that way. If I'm flying, I can do it mid-flight to turn, like Superman. Just like, bam. I always end up doing that by accident. Okay, as for stopping time, I think that's one of the abilities I didn't go over yet. It's you hold down both triggers, and then you take up your hands and make them go apart. Like if you were just like stopping time. Or you can just press triangle. Like, so you just go like this. See, I accidentally shot a bolt too, but I did stop time. As you can see with my bolt flying in midair. Now, the one perk about when you have used your time top ability, if you start pressing triangle, you start turning without worry about using that ability. I don't know, maybe that's been fixed in an update already, because it's usually like it gives me that little notification that I can't use the ability when I start pressing triangle after it's already been used. Either way, now, so turning with the square and triangle also works, but I kind of like it because not only is it shifty like that, where this one's a lot smoother, just tilting your head. The only thing that's good about it is when you need to turn around really fast. So I would just not press triangle unless you're wanting to use it for a quick way to stop time, because usually I'll do that instead of the hand motion, just because it's a lot faster. And I would just use square as like a quick turn ability. Like, you know, if there's something behind you, you know, but press square like 3 times, bam, you're turned around if you need to turn around real quick. But then your primary turning, I would say just, you know, tilt your head. Because it works really good. You know, it's basically put your ear to one of your shoulders and you'll turn in that direction. Okay, so your other abilities, you have levitation. I'll need to get to a city for that to work correctly, but there's also other levels. How you would use it is you hold down the trigger and you kind of like wave your hand backwards. You see my hand kind of did the come here motion, so I used it, but there was nothing to use it on. And then there's the levitation ability, to where when an enemy is dropping something like a building or civilians, which they'll do in the later missions, you have a levitation ability where you can like save them by making an anti-gravity field. That you just press trigger on both hands and you do an upward motion like this, and it makes this little anti-gravity field. So we're gonna go to a city right now, just so we can see the telekinesis and anti-gravity field in motion, and maybe we'll blow up a city, just for the fun of it. But as for how well the game works better, like at first, using the motions is a bit slower and a bit difficult to get used to, but it's definitely a much funner way to play this game. Even during the missions, I managed to beat all the missions, including the last one. Honestly, the last mission was probably one of the easier ones. Maybe it's because you have all your powers and stuff, and you kind of just use them together. I feel like mission number 8, mission number 7 and 8 were probably my 2 hardest missions. They were just so frustrating because like the bosses, like they would like on 7 they throw down some enemies throw down bombs that if you don't use your telekinesis to grab, which can be annoying to do at times, you know, the whole city dies. You know, everyone's dead, instant lose. Oh, there's a city right there. You can usually detect cities, like if you're just wanting to go and basically flea play around the city in between missions, you know, stay away from the mission city, because that city you get too close to the mission point and you'll start the mission. But if you want to just dick around in the cities, how you can find them is little things like that. You see how it's like a very distinct shape and it's lighter than everything else? That 9 times out of 10 is always a city. Oh, I forgot one more ability. I guess Bomb in a City is the best time to show it to you. Your dash ability, when you dash into things, is mainly for dashing into the ground to get underground enemies, or dashing at like yellow targets on enemies. You just press both of the flight abilities. You just press it in rapid succession on both hands. I think you actually can do it in one hand, but I find it easier to do it in both, and wherever you want to go. Like so, let's say I want to dash into that thing right there. I'm going to press both of my fly buttons, but very fast. Like that. I like ram into the ground. Or let's say I want to ram them into a building. That can be done too. So here's the telekinesis. I just hold down my triangle, flip backwards, car's in the air. Now, whichever direction I look, I can now push the car forward by holding down the trigger, pushing forward, or the direction. So like that again, forward. It's important to remember, even if you're looking up, to kind of press forward. Sometimes you have to also wait for the object to get like closer to you, or it won't work. You'll instead like throw a key blast. So you know, you wait for the objects like right in front of you, because the object's like down on the screen and you try pressing forward, usually you'll just throw one of these, or you'll accidentally do that. Thankfully, your heat vision, I find it comes back at a pretty good rate, so even though that's an ability I use on accident quite a bit, it comes back fast enough to where by the time I need it, you know, I do it. And I usually don't make many mistakes when I'm in battle. Ooh, I hit that building. Well, might as well go full speed villain, so let's smash through this building. They did not say I didn't kill anyone. I just smashed into a building full of people and no casualties. What? Okay, there's some casualties. Also, I've noticed like if you just throw a car like wildly into the air with like no casualties, like what about the dude that was just driving this car? He's just fine. Oh. What if I throw a car at like an actual pedestrian? Oh, that didn't throw the car. Wait, no one died? Yeah. Die, fucker! You know what? I know how to take care of you. Oh wait, the triangle, it stopped doing it. Maybe they finally fixed it or mapped it to a different button. See, it used to be if you press triangle, so like if you're trying to use it for turning, it wouldn't let you. Like it would just do your stupid stop time ability, which honestly was annoying, because stopping time with this, it works. It works just fine. Just watch. Bam. Did it first try. You usually shoot a bolt at it while you're doing it, but who cares? It's just one extra bolt. I don't know why their feet are still moving. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Superman's tired of your shit. Just gonna fly through some buildings. Special beam cannon! And now it's time to level this city. Kame! Try not to exterminate the humans. That's one thing I've kind of not liked about this game. Like, my only pet peeve is that you can't, like, there doesn't seem to be a free play mode where you can, like, in between missions you kind of do what you want and destroy these things, but I heard that something bad actually happens if you just continue destroying the earth like that. Like, it'll, like, make your save, which I guess it's fine when you've already completed the game, but it'll, like, do something to your save to where now when you do a mission, you can, if one single casualty dies, you'll fail the mission. Something weird like that. I've always wondered about that. But also at the same time, there's one of the achievements that says destroy Earth, so I'm wondering, do I have to do that a bunch of times to destroy the Earth? Like, how do I destroy the Earth? Do I just do a Kamei wave? As far as I know, this is the most devastating attack I can do. Let's do it to that city right there. Wait, fuck, I've already charged up. Screw it. Oh, I missed. Guess my special beam cannon doesn't reach them if they're not loaded in. I'm still wondering if my Kamei wave does. Well, that's it for the tutorial part. I guess for my review part, this game's actually really, really fun. Like, move controls, as I've said before. It's just, it takes a little time to get used to. It definitely, this game's probably not the best if you're someone who gets sick easy. Like, if you get motion sickness easy in VR games, this game, you probably won't be able to complete the story mode then, just because a lot of moving around is, and quickly getting to where you need to go is definitely needed. Even in some of the easier missions, you've got to just be able to get there quickly, exterminate the aliens, and you got to be precise with your hits, or you're gonna, like, you know, when you're not trying to do like I am, you're gonna level a couple buildings just by throwing a normal blast like that. You're gonna level a building, and you're like, fuck, I just killed like 25 people. You know, you're killing. Like, one thing is your power is so powerful in this game. Like, it's kind of like almost poetic, is that you can do a lot more damage a lot faster than the aliens can. Like, so if you're missing the aliens and you're missing the shots, and some of the aliens, they exploit that. They purposely move around in a way to make you hit the civilians. So use you as a weapon. You'll do a lot more damage as they can. You'll do a shit more tons of damage just by throwing key blasts, missing them, or if you shoot a Kamehameha, you know, your Gigaton blast, or as I like to call your Kamehameha, straight to the ground. Anytime you're doing a mission, you want to shoot that straight up, you know, at the enemy, or sometimes straight across is okay, but usually I hit the tops of a couple of skyscrapers when I do that, and some people die, but, you know, it's a little bit of loss. It's minimal. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to show you what a mission's like. Well, it's not the last mission, so it doesn't spoil the game. Let's see. Score attack. This mode after you beat in the game lets you basically play all the missions. So we're going to do... I want to do like mission 2, probably be a good one. I think another amazing part about this game is just being able to fly out into space and just like do whatever and go wherever in the solar system. Also, you can leave the solar system and go somewhere, whatever in the galaxy. Each one of those stars you see, I can fly into one. And we'll do that right after we do the mission. You just fly into a star and you can check it out. There'll be no life on those planets. They'll all be lifeless planets, but you can land on each planet and just, you know, mess around. And it's just kind of cool being able to actually do that. They're actually there. It's not just a skybox. Like, I'm sure what I'm seeing is probably a skybox or whatever, but once you go actually out there, they're actually physical places. go. That's that guy's weak point. Oh, it won't let me use my other powers I haven't earned yet. I guess that's fair. So I can only use my Kamehameha on this power, on this one. So maybe I should have done this. I probably should have done like mission 6. Suck it! Oh, let's go. I don't know, maybe it's gotta do this mission. The earlier missions were a lot, quicker to do. The later missions, they take some time. Especially if you fail or mess up. Okay, there's my first big ship I gotta attack. Oh, there's more. Fuck it. Go! Die. You die. Oh no, they're hurting civilians over here. No, you don't. Oh shit. A lot of enemies will have weak points like that, where you have to like hit the underside of them or hit the red dot. Sometimes it'll be a yellow dot if it needs you to dash at them. Kamehameha! Eat shit! But if you hit them like where the red spot isn't, you just won't get an instant kill. It's good for stopping their moves before they try to kill a bunch of people. Ooh, he's trying to get away. Where are you going? Ooh. Oh, I hate these guys. They suck so much. They have 2 weak points, and it's their only spot they can be even hurt at. Well, I think I could use a Kamei wave if you can kill them, but your normal attacks will only hurt them with their 2 weak spots. Bam! And then collect the Xenosphere. Total human casualties, 75. That's not so bad. Probably gave me like a B. Yeah, dang. I think you have like a really small amount of casualties, like less than 10 or something, to get an A rank. A rank is super hard to get. So we're gonna go continue game this time. And now, I'm just gonna fly out to a random star to show you just how expansive this is. Yeah, that's the moon right there. You can totally, if you can find them, I mean, like, it's unlike Earth. Wait, why do I have... Oh, I had 2 for a second. If you can actually find them, you can actually find every planet in the solar system. Easier ones are like stuff like Mars and stuff like that, but most of them can be kind of... Well, Jupiter can be easy to find because it's big. Some of them can be a bit difficult to find. I think this is Saturn too. I swear I can see a ring on this one. Yep, Saturn. And it even has its moons. Now, gas giants are one of the planets you can go inside, but like you just see like this gas nothingness. Like you can't really get past the atmosphere all that much for whatever reason. I mean, you can fly on the surface of a star, but apparently the gas. Well, I can get pretty close to the surface, but see, like right now I'm above the planets in the atmosphere, but I can't really pass the atmosphere. I can get to about right here. I can, however, go in its rings. Which is probably one of the coolest things. It's just like going to a planet that has rings and just flying in its rings. And see, it's like an actual ring. It's actually got like asteroids and stuff. In case you get lost, there's always that thing showing you where Earth's at. And its moons, I can actually fly to the surface of the moon since it's not a gas giant. Just like I can any other planet, it's not a gas giant. And I'm not sure which moon this is, but this is one of its moons. Bam, there you go. But now we're going to fly out of the solar system. You can fly faster by going up, so when you're flying up, it's kind of like how you get out of our system or out of the galaxy. Same thing for getting out of planets quickly. Just basically fly up, and you gain speed really quickly than when you're flying forward. Side of the system. So like right now, there's a bunch of star clusters. That's the Sol system. If you go over here, that's like the center of the galaxy. And you fly up higher. Now we're outside the Milky Way galaxy. That's where Earth is. That's the center of the galaxy. And these are other galaxies. And I can literally just pick one at random. Let's say that one right there, and I can even fly into it. We're going to fly into this galaxy, this spiral one. I think they're all spirals for some reason. And now I can fly to any random star cluster. Let's say that one. Or I mean, you have to fly into a star cluster. Any one of these stars even I can go into if I want. But let's go to the star cluster. Let's find one of these shiny, there's a nebula right here. And let's find any random star. Let's just, oh, there's one right there. There's a random star. We're just gonna fly into the system. And bam. We'll fly towards that star right there. And I'll show you how we can even land on the surface of the star. Oh, there's two of them. Nice. Sometimes even there'll be a black hole that's the stars are orbiting around. These are just two stars orbiting around each other. But what's cool is the planets actually do like orbit in a way. Like you'll notice their positions I think change, but mainly like there is a day-night cycle on planets, and you can just fly over to where the light side is to get to the day quicker. I really like that feature. As for stars, you can fly on the surface and you will not die. You can't really die in this game, except if you fly into a black hole, you will die. You actually get an achievement for it as well. But how you lose is just too many civilian casualties. And I can go for a nice lava swim. And it'll like do that for some reason. When I get too far into the lava, it'll like start closing my screen up. But let's see if we can find an orbiting planet. Most of these systems at least have a couple planets. Who knows, maybe this one doesn't. Maybe it's just two stars. Oh, I'd find that very unlikely. Let's just see. I can look around, fly far enough back. Oh, is that a planet right there? Yep, here's a planet right here. Very small one. And watch. Oh, it's a gas planet, I think. Nope, never mind. It's not. So we can go to the surface. It's just a little bit gassy. So it's not a gas giant. Oh, I need to charge this thing up all the way, I guess. That's that small crater I'm making comparative when I use my Megaton blast. Stop in time. Well, I think that's all there is to show. So you can kind of explore, but most of the planets will be all desolate like this. I don't think you'll even find trees on other planets, sadly. And I'm pretty sure I don't think you'll even find water, even though that's, you know, I don't know, maybe you will. I haven't explored enough planets to know if you can even find water, but most of them are just kind of like this. They're just rock husks, you know, maybe a little more mountainous. You know, some will have atmospheres, so you'll have clouds. Others won't have an atmosphere. They'll all be similar to a moon. But it's kind of cool how you can just kind of go there. And you can always find your way back by that annoying little blinking light that shows you where Earth's at. So when I fly out of the system, I can then fly out of this galaxy and make my way back to the Milky Way. So I'm flying up. Oh yeah, to fly up, you just, of course, just point your hands up, like the same if you would just point them down. You can just point one up if you like. Just point up. Usually just anywhere above your head works. I think even just slightly above, like where you're not pointing straight, works. But you go faster if you point above your head. And bam. I've left that system. Milky Way's over there, and I could choose to go back into there. One of the things you can explore, I've already found them all so they won't appear, is when you look around here, you'll find another light like that, but except it'll be a lighter blue instead of the purplish color, and it'll make a different sound. Those are where the markers, the signs are at, where you can go and kind of learn more of the story of this game, or the lore, I guess. And they'll take you usually to random systems. I think the first one's within the Milky Way, but all the other ones are outside the Milky Way. And I find them, you just literally look around until eventually you see a light flash at you, and that tells you to go fly in that direction. Well, I think that's it. I think what I'm going to do is log off now, and maybe I'll try to fly in a random direction, because I heard if you fly, I think if I fly far enough away from the Milky Way, I get an achievement. I'm not sure how far I have to fly, though, so I don't want to put that in the video if it takes too long. This video is probably long enough, and that's a tutorial of how to use the Move controllers, and that's almost sort of review of how good the game is.